Hello folks, and welcome to the Sovereignty and Wealth Receiving Activity presentation that I've put together for you folks in order to help educate you on a brilliant alternative way of generating wealth, for yourself and your family that can otherwise set up a lifetime of very powerful passive income stream potential with the receiving lines that you can set up. That's all based off of the law of one, the law of attraction, the golden rule of giving and receiving. And yes, it is tax-free. And no, there isn't any products or services involved. And the beauty of this is it puts the people against the people and cuts right to the chase of what matters most, which is just the cash money. And so it's a beautiful, beautiful system that I hope you won't take up too much of your time. At the end of this presentation, you should have a better understanding as to how the system works. It took me 3 to 4 goes with the presentations that I was sent to me that I found when learning about this program. But once the penny drops for you, it's like a huge eureka moment. It'd be very difficult for you not to get involved, especially those of you who are kind of well educated in the corruption of the economic system, given the money supply and the legal system, and the basing, the de facto system we're now operating under with bankruptcy, which is otherwise the statutory jurisdiction, which is the colour of maritime amity, given what they did ever since 1933, with taking us off money backed by substance, gold and silver, and the kind of contracts now that are being formed with this substanceless money, that they had to come up with a colorable law system to govern those kind of contracts that were obviously being transacted with the colorable money. And it's otherwise led to a huge kind of clandestine, subterfuge, deceitful system that's squeezing the middle class, and it's just basically creating more of a divide between the rich and poor, as we're seeing, where there were in the economy between good times and bad times through the interest rate cycles, hikes and decreases, right? And it's pure manipulation, and obviously the inflation, that stealth tax. So having that law of context, I think it's very key in an activity like this that you don't really need, so you can just go to the basics of how and why this system is, very powerful by just understanding the mechanisms and how it works. But having that kind of law of context and greater picture, that macroeconomic view of what's going on in the world, why these systems have been created and why we must start thinking differently to otherwise the state debtor indoctrination camp run school systems that they all have us going through like a sausage factory in order to start changing the way we think about approaching systems of generating wealth for each other, especially when it puts the people to people together as a peer-to-peer network, which is decentralized. I think this is the answer we're all waiting and looking for on this planet, where we can help each other become wealthy without any middlemen or fat cat at the top, skimming profits. So I just personally, off the back of my education, which you folks, if you haven't been on my website yet, you get a good gauge as to the kind of level of knowledge that I carry, which is a lot. Having a background in economics, degree at university, which didn't really teach me anything, to be honest, but kind of invited me to open the doors to other sources outside of the curriculum to find out what is truly going on for the last 12 years. And I've been studying law for the last 4 years, and this is what invited me actually to this program, was a PDF from Mary Elizabeth Croft, which I'll share down below, titled How I Beat Every Cash Confiscatory Agency Known to Man, that finally gave me the knowledge of the legal system. So I had the economic knowledge of the money system. It was the legal system that I was missing. I was like, that's the linchpin. That's the only thing I was missing. And obviously off the back of that, she obviously shared this system, and this is how I found out about it. And obviously it got led to my inviter, and now I'm in a position that he was in. And off the back of this, you got to picture yourself in my position, where you are now, you'll be in my position. Once you become educated and you get qualified and you come and join the activity, then the world is your oyster, and you can literally start receiving a lifetime of abundance and wealth generation for yourself and your family. And like I said, it can also help position other people into where you will inevitably be, which is where I am now, set to receive 100% of all future pledges gifted to me. So it's a very, very powerful system. Stay patient, might have to go over it 3 or 4 times. Once the penny drops, you'll be like, bang, eureka. And it'd be very difficult for you, I guarantee it, as it was with me, to not get involved. And you'll find every excuse, and there'll be a lot of doubt programming set in, like I said, because we've been programmed a certain way to think about money and how we generate money, that when a system like this comes along, it's almost like, it sounds too good to be true. Trust me, I went through all this. Is it a pyramid? Is it a Ponzi? Sounds too good to be true. And every step of the way of my invite, I was asking questions, did my research. I couldn't find any flaws in it whatsoever. And obviously I've then took that leap of faith, joined, dispelled all that fear and doubt, and obviously found the truth. Truth needs no defense, and got involved and have been, involved now for 4 years, so ever since 2020. And it's been a wonderful kind of addition to my other income streams. That's just been a gift. It really is. And I really want to push this out there to help other people help themselves. Okay, that's the main point of this presentation. So hopefully off the back of this, you get excited, and you might want to get in touch and hopefully get involved so you can position yourself where I am, okay, where my inviter was, in order to start receiving 100% of tax-free money, okay, which is the most important thing. Right, so that being said, let's dive straight into it. So the key points, okay, we're just going to whiz through this. It is a private activity, okay, so it's invitation only. It is tax-free, okay, so every pledge that is made, you sign a non-solicitation form and a gifting statement, okay? And the amounts that we're dealing with means that per person, it falls well below most countries' requirements of gifts to be tax-free, okay? And it's all in United States dollars. This program was established and set up first and foremost in the United States, but it is running worldwide, okay? So it has, as I said before, a huge passive income stream potential with the multiple receiving lines. I like the analogy of giving a hub in a wheel with an infinite amount of spokes that you can otherwise set up, that otherwise your receiving lines. Okay, so it's no pyramid, there's no structure like that otherwise you find in Ponzi schemes. It's putting you right front and center in control, where you can then establish a complete egalitarian, equitable receiving line system like spokes to a hub on a wheel. Again, there's an infinite amount you can set up, which is the power of this, okay, which we'll get into later. It's quite exciting. So based off of, like I said, the law of attraction, given you shall receive, okay, very important. I think that's lacking in today's world. We're kind of stuck in that fear-based paradigm of scarcity economics, which is, fear is the currency of control. So these international banksters who manipulate whole economies and industries and governments now, they've got everyone kind of thinking a certain way, especially with the mainstream media, always enemies at the gates, right? Got to fear, there's never enough. Get ourselves out of the reptilian, survival instinct state of mind and into the neo-mammalian, or mammalian brain at least, in regards to starting to earn enough money, come into systems in order to earn enough, money, receive enough money, and know that you are worthy of receiving this amount of money, because you are infinite, you've got an eternal soul, right? In order to be able to elevate yourself out of that reptilian brain, out of that scarcity kind of fear-based paradigm and wavelength, okay? So you can break through that and start actually experiencing joy, abundance, and freedom, which we all should be experiencing, right? But unfortunately, there's some very, very satanic, selfish individuals who are in power that otherwise don't want that for the rest of humanity. So that's why systems like this are created, because we kind of say a big you to the international creditors. We know your game. So, we're going to get together, people to people. It's what all about, helping thy neighbor in order to break free financially. Okay. So like I said before, no products or services to sell, puts the people to people together and goes right to the chase of what matters most, which is the cash money. It was established back in 2001, a case that's been going for a very long time, and it was otherwise made by economists, lawyers, and finance experts, who are well educated on our current economic system. They knew, all about the deception with the legalese, the legal system, the money system, okay, and everything that's resulted from that. You give once in a lifetime pledge, okay, / gift, okay, to set yourself up to receive an infinite amount going forward. It is peer-to-peer, as I said before, decentralized network, puts you in the driver's seat, no middlemen or fat cat at the top. Okay, like I said, in order to get context, highly recommend reading Mary Elizabeth Croft's PDF. That's how I learned about this activity. In other words, joins through my inviter. And you can otherwise go to my resource tabs and sovereignty and law, okay, in order to learn a little bit more about the economics, okay, and why systems like this are very lucrative, very, very attractive for those individuals who know how this whole system is basically just a monopoly ball game, okay? And money's being created on account from a zero balance. And it's actually our signature, okay, that has created money in a lifetime of labor that's being pledged by your governments. They're not telling you this in order to act as surety, collateral for all the debt. Okay, and all you're gonna do is hop on nationaldebtcalculator.com of whatever country you're in, and you'll see if your country's in debt and it continues to rise, every year they raise the debt ceiling, you're operating in bankruptcy. And what's the definition of bankruptcy? Your liabilities are greater than your assets. Okay, so every bankrupt government, country, which is just a corporation, is a bankrupt corporation, insolvent, is a debtor beholden now to the creditor or the creditors, which are the international families who own the IMF, the World Bank, the United Nations, okay, and all roads lead back to Rome, the Vatican, Unidroit, okay, and all these institutions, the Jesuits, all right. So, like I said, context is key. You can learn more about this on my website, but I think it's I think it's the huge, probably the biggest selling point, especially for me, what I advocate in regards to the kind of members and clients I work with, and the knowledge I carry and the truth that, I've made truth my business. I think it's very, very important for me to mention this with the kind of people I want to attract. But this goes without saying, anyone can come in at any level. They don't need to even know about the kind of economics of this system. They can get involved, but I just think it helps. All right. So 100% of money you receive, you keep after qualifying. And the only recurring costs, okay, are $180 annually for the web hosting fee, which basically provides you the tracking software where it's all automated. I'll show you this later on. And the lead generations, okay, which primarily are in America, okay, but you can still tap into that resource. You've got to think how many people are kind of searching how to make money from home every day. I think it's in like the millions. It's crazy on Google and other search engines, okay, the statistics behind that. So you can absolutely capture, a portion of that in order to help, get a system like this out there off the back of your own means. And obviously the training that's provided and the resources too that I'll provide, and obviously the website provides too. Okay, and then you've got obviously the training materials there as well. So that's what that kind of annual fee is going towards. And the beauty is you dictate how you like to receive the cash, okay, because it puts you in the position of power. The only thing that's kind of centralized is the website, which is basically just centralizing the tracking software, which is putting and sorting and organizing all of the receiving lines, and then basically automating and updating and sending out communications to the emails of those individuals as to what to do next. Okay, who you've got to get in touch with, who have you got to put your pledge to, who have you got to pay the web hosting fee to. So it's all automated. Okay, so there's no real one person. It's just a kind of central website. It's a hub. And then you are the boss that then goes and governs and fills in all the rest. So the one-up system. Okay, so just remember this: you can only receive what you pledge. Okay, and the maximum amount is $3.50, and it's split into 3 levels. Okay, so you've got the first is 500, second is 1,000, and the third is 2,000. Okay, you can basically only start receiving once you have given your first person up to your inviter. Hence the one-up system, and this is the beauty, and this is the power. Okay, so for example, when I came across and I found out about this program, my inviter was Gary. Okay, so Gary was in a position where he'd already been qualified. He gave his pledge to his inviter. And so now he was, tapping into the resources on the website, putting together his own website, which is great. His links, okay. And I obviously stumbled across one of them, like you have done now with me. And I got in touch with him after learning. I said, great, Gary, this is, amazing. I'd love to get involved. He said, cool, right. So obviously signed on. I then sent him my $3,500, okay, because I knew I wanted to position myself to be able to receive $3,500 after I got qualified, okay, and not have those people skim over to him because I haven't activated all 3 levels. And so I gave him $3,500. That was confirmed. Bang, tick. That's the first job. Second job, I then went in and tapped into the resources and put myself out there, started advertising, started to try and find people, educate them on this program, sent them over to presentations and listened to the video call presentation. And I found my qualifier, right? And so he was my first qualifier. He again saw the beauty of the program and the importance and power to position yourself into all 3 levels in order to start receiving that once you break away and get qualified. Okay, so let's for instance say my qualifier name was Bill. So I found Bill and he wanted to join at all 3 levels. I then gave Bill to Gary, and this is all done automatically, okay, on the system on the website that governs all of this. Bill went to Gary, and then Gary received $3,500. Once that was confirmed, he then ticked on the system, so then I was able to break away. I was qualified now at all 3 levels. So I basically got together, I made Gary $7,000. I gave him a pledge, which was my once-in-a-lifetime pledge to join the activity of $3,500. that activated all 3 levels for me to then go away to get qualified at that level. In order for me to get qualified at that level, I had to find one person to give up to my inviter at those 3 levels. Okay, so once I was qualified at all those 3 levels by giving Bill to Gary, who was my inviter, I was then able to break away and set myself up now for the rest of my life to start receiving 100% of every person that was coming in. So you can see that this is like a perpetual replicating system of inviters, invitees. Once they get their one up, they break away, then they become the person in power. Okay, which is, like I said, it's not a pyramid. It's otherwise like becoming your own hub in an infinite amount of spokes on a wheel. Okay, of the receiving lines you can set up, but it'll start making more sense as we go through this. So, for instance, if you only pledge 1,500 initially, and you find your one-up qualifier to give to your inviter in order to qualify yourself at 1,500, right? And they want to join at all 3 levels and position themselves to receive the maximum amounts early on, you can only qualify yourself to break away and start receiving the lifetime of pledges at the level you joined at, which was 1,500. Okay, so the $2,000 skips over to your inviter. Okay, so the beauty is you don't want to be missing out on that, because otherwise you have to work harder to find more people to get activated if you're only coming in at a lower level. Okay, so you can always activate the remaining level of $2,000 later on by pledging that amount to your inviter and then getting qualified at that level. Okay, so there's a huge missed opportunity there. So imagine you just join the program at 1,500 and you go and find, Alan, who's your first one-up qualifier, and he wants to join at all 3 levels. Well, that $2,000 unfortunately gets missed, and you can't qualify yourself because you haven't given that $2,000 pledge. You only gave 1,500, so you've only activated 2 levels. Okay, so there's kind of like it's all set up to basically incentivize positioning yourself at the 3-level mark, $3,500, so you can start breaking away and receiving 100% of that going forwards in the future. So again, like I said, you can see the incentive as to why people normally join at all 3 levels, so they can position themselves early on to receive 100% of all future pledges as soon as they break away from qualifying by giving their one up to their inviter. Okay, this way you do not miss out on receiving, as all invitees end up rolling over to your inviter if you haven't activated all 3 levels. Okay, so that's a huge missed potential, but great, again, if you're the inviter. So once you're qualified, you can start receiving all future pledges from all future members who join through your unique inviters code, where they are now positioned on your receiving line. Okay, you become the hub in an infinite potential spoke wheel of receiving lines you can establish. Each receiving line is then working hard to find the one-up member to give to you so they can qualify and position themselves to receive 100% of all future pledges. Okay, so you need to find literally 2 people to break even. Okay, so you come along, give your initial donation to your inviter, that's $3,500. You then go and find one person that wants to join the program, that then gets transferred to your inviter as your one-up qualifier. Okay, once they donate, you are then confirmed and you can break away. Okay, so the second person you find who comes onto the program and wants to join, pledges you as the inviter, you're now their inviter, they stay with you. Okay, and you get 100% of that pledge. And then that person who obviously you've come in for your first receiving line, is motivated to go off and do the same as what you've just done. And that's the beauty of how this system taps into the incentive of people then going off to find you another person to make you money. Okay, so each person, once they get qualified, will end up making you $7,000 each. Okay, and that's what I've done. I made Gary my inviter because I tapped into the law of abundance, the law of attraction. Given you shall receive. Thank you, Gary. Here's my donation. I know this is going to open up the floodgates now for me to receive an abundance of compounded wealth for the rest of my life based off my own efforts. And I'm going to find that other person for you, and I'm going to gift him to you also. So I'm going to make you another $3,500. That's $7,000, Gary. I hope you like that, mate. So I love you. And this is a beautiful program. And I know that I'm going to be positioning myself in a system where I'm going to do exactly the same. And all the people that come in under me are going to be put in exactly the same position. And they're going to open those floodgates to receive a lifetime of tax-free money and otherwise unlock their financial freedom, financial success that they've been trying to chip away at all their lives. And this is why it's very exciting. And you can see how this system is very powerful once you understand this concept, okay? So you can only receive what you pledge, that's the key. But here the example, right, which I've just kind of gone over. This example just highlights the potential that one receiving line can generate for you after you break away, okay? Alan, so you can see down here, Alan, right, in the black and white, was the first person to join the program through you. So this is used as an example. Then he qualified and broke away with Bob. Okay, so this is after you've qualified, right? Then he qualified and broke away with Bob. So Bob was his qualifier. He was his one-up qualifier, right? So then Bob then gave his pledge to you and then found Cindy. And then Cindy as his one-up qualifier and broke away. So Bob then gave his pledge to you and then found Cindy as his one-up and broke away. Cindy then gave her pledge to you and found her one-up qualifier, Dan, and so on and so forth. So you can see, the massive potential, the passive compounding nature of this program that can flow into your life and really set up a perpetual flow of abundance. Each person you go out into the world and find via the many different methods shared, you establish a brand new receiving line where this perpetual passive flow of tax-free money can continue to bless your life, as well as those who join and do the same. It's a win-win scenario for everyone involved. So you can see with just this example, you had from 1, 2, 3, 4. So from signing on one person, without you doing hardly anything, these people then went off to find their one-up qualifier so they can then break away and position themselves to receive 100%. It's basically made them 14 grand, okay, from 4 people joining. With you just only having to work hard to find one person and tap into obviously trying to bring someone on board. Okay, and that can go on forever because each person that then comes in, breaks away, their one-up qualifier comes to you. They then find their one-up qualifier and then they break away, right? Then this person stays with you. They find their one-up qualifier, then they break away. So you can see it's a perpetual conveyor belt of people working to make you money. And that's just one receiving line. Now imagine you've got multiple receiving lines and multiple streams of this going on with individuals coming in, joining, breaking away, then setting themselves up to become their own hub, because that's the incentive. So each person that becomes a hub has done one or two things, right? They've done 2 things. They've given their pledge and they found their first person to give up to their inviter. Then they've broken off. So they've made $7,000 for each one of their inviters. That's everyone who's now a hub has done that, has contributed to helping make each other financially free. Okay, so imagine you're the center of this hub and each line represents a receiving line you have established by inviting new eager members to join. The potential is unlimited. Okay, it's based off the back of your own efforts. Okay, each person, if they qualify, will be generating 7 grand for you. Then you simply times that by the amount of receiving lines you have, and you can see how this system can be very lucrative. Okay, you might have some receiving lines that the people there are just like taking it by storm, getting people, hand over fist every day. Okay, other people, some receiving lines might be slower. Just depends on the individual, right? Some people hit the ground running. Other people just need a little bit more time, a little bit more resources, confidence, okay, in order to get the the word out there, a bit more creative with the entrepreneurialism, in terms of advertising, putting presentations like this together. You've got full license to, basically get this out there however which way you wish, but there's obviously certain languages you've got to be careful of not saying like income or so-called, kind of corporate commercial activity. It's an activity which is, in terms of profits and stuff like this, it's an activity that is wealth-based, it's in the private, okay, but the website goes over all of this just to make sure that you're protecting yourself and obviously staying in that private jurisdiction, okay, which is what we want, given what's going on in the public realm of commerce, which is all operating under bankruptcy, which deals in bonds, licenses, and insurance, okay, it's all corrupt. It's a state of emergency, basically, that's what's going on. So it's a form of martial law. So what is needed to succeed? Okay, first, you need to learn how the system works, become familiar so you can easily teach it. Right, I'm going to show another presentation that probably explains it far better than I can, right, which is only 7 minutes long. Off the back of this presentation, I'm going to leave it for you guys to view so you can go back over it and hopefully help hit home the power of this program. Because once you do get it, it's a no-brainer. It really is. It kind of sells itself. There's really no selling in this. It's just educating people and getting them up to speed as to how it works. Okay, so you've got to pledge your gift to your inviter. This is, all the things you need to do. You've got to pay the web hosting fee, tune into the training/learning, okay, and learn to build new ways to capture new interest and invite new people to join the activity. Very, very easy. Tons of material I can send you. That's obviously available on the website too. Find your one-up qualifier, okay, and then obviously be inventive, creative, and have a positive mindset / attitude, and enjoy the activity, in regards to meeting new people and helping to share abundance, not only for yourself, but for others too. Okay, and that's the beauty of this program. You're not only helping yourself, but you're helping others as well to achieve financial success. Okay, so how do I join? Right, so basically there's a website, okay, which we'll go to now just to show you, which we'll just read through this real quick. This is a snapshot of the website. We'll go over there in a second. So you basically click on the link, okay, to the website below this video and enter password freedom today, okay, and then click the join tab. I'll leave a link below in order for you guys to go over to this website, which does have more resources that you can read through. Click the join tab, you can see on the top right there, which we'll go through this in a second so you can see how it works. On the top right of the website, and put my inviters code, which is 26099. Okay, so now that with the software shows that you've come in under me, and so that you'll be dealing with me, and obviously your one-up qualifiers will be coming to me as well in order for you to get into the program. Otherwise you can't. Okay, so that's what I mean. It's peer-to-peer, people-to-people. It's decentralized. That's what I love about it. So you can only get into this activity if you know someone who's already involved with it. Okay, so then you simply follow the instructions as presented to you in order to get in touch with me, to gift you a donation and to also pay the web hosting fee. If you join at all 3 levels, I can pay the first year web hosting for you as a welcome gift, something I offer. And I can also offer 50% off my Sovereignty Masterclass course too, if you join at all 3 levels, okay, which is just something to consider. Now I'll show that to you folks. Now this is obviously on my website. If you go over to Sovereignty and Law on the top there in the tab, this is otherwise something I offer, which you can see here, 50% off when joining Wealth Receiving program at all 3 levels. Now this course is valued at $2,000, which is a huge discount, trust me, with the amount of information that's on there. So you can obviously go over there in your own time and find out what is on offer, watch the presentation, and the things that I've been working on, that you can otherwise claim 50% off, okay, if you decide to join the program at all 3 levels. Okay, so here's the website, really good. This is what basically provides all of the automated software service and pulls the activity together, okay, for us to log in and manage all the receiving lines. Okay, so if you want to join, you simply click the join and you put in my inviters code, so 26099, you submit. Okay, so really simple. You're invited by Alex Mundich. This is not your inviter's name. Go back and try again. If this is correct, click continue to registration. Okay, so obviously that is my name, so that's correct. Continue to registration. All you do is check the levels at which you want to join at. Okay, that this activity assures confidential handling of all customer data received, and your information will never be shared or sold. Please review carefully all information before you submit the registration. So let's just do a mock. So we can do a mock here. So let's do my other email address so you guys can see exactly how this works. So we put this in again. It's very, very simple. I'll even show you the email that comes up, which notifies everyone of the activity as to how this all works. And it's just a matter of following instructions. Okay, so if you can read, you become competent to be able to do well with this program. It's as simple as that. Phone number, don't really need to put in there. So we put in the password and let's see what happens. Okay, so you've got to put in your phone number. So let's just try. Let's try that. Let's see what happens. So there we go. So this is basically, okay, so write down your new ID number. Okay, so this is my new ID number. So if I'm coming in as a new person under me, okay, you also been emailed your member information and gifting information. Be sure to print the gifting statement and non-solicitation forms. Okay, so this is quite easy. So you just follow the instructions, print this off. I'll just quickly show you what it looks like. Really simple. You print it off, sign it, fill in your information. Okay, that's the gifting statement. This is the non-solicitation form. Scan it and obviously send it to me via email. Okay, and this is all the information. Here's the information of the person to send your $500 gift to. And this is obviously all of my information here. Okay, my email address to get in contact with, even my mobile number to get in contact with. And congratulations on your decision. I mean, you can read through this in your own time. etc., etc. Okay, and you've got all the different steps here to basically follow along. Okay, and so once this is done, so you go to pay hosting fees. Okay, you're basically given instructions as to how to pay your hosting fee. Okay, which is normally done by a posted mail order, sending cash. Then you can simply come in and put in your tracking ID number. Like I said, if you join at all 3 levels, I can otherwise pay this for you and get this done online a lot quicker. Okay, and hopefully get you set up. And then once that is all done, what I do, okay, let me just show you what happens via the email notification. So just get this up real quick. So I basically get an email notification. Okay, that you can see. Just always check your junk email too, because sometimes it ends up in junk email, right? And so this is, otherwise you can see here, congratulations, the following member, based on your referral, has joined the activity. The inviter is myself, okay? And this is my member number, and this is the member name. It's obviously a bit confusing because that'll be the person that obviously joined, which wouldn't have the same name as me. But you can see here the member notice, they've chose to come in at all 3 levels. So I've got a notification at all 3 levels of this new member who has joined. Okay, and this is obviously their information in order to get in touch. That I can either get in touch, or the person joining can get in touch with me in order to move forward on the next steps. But like I said before, it's all self-explanatory, and it's up to the individual, to reach out, to get the ball rolling in order to move on to the next steps. Okay, so very, very easy process. And what I'm going to do now is take you back to what you would otherwise see once your web hosting fee is confirmed. What you would see as an inviter, i.e. when you're in my position, okay, what otherwise you will see once you log into the back end, okay? So what you see here, the members, when you click on each receiving line, what you will have is someone here, so you can see the new person that has joined, whether they're basically the information that's going to be pertained here is whether they paid the web hosting so their account is active, and whether they have given you the gift. Okay, so once they give you the gift, all you're going to do is a simple smiley face. You click the smiley face that's next to their name. Okay, and all it has here is listing their name, the membership ID, okay, their email address, their phone number, and the date they joined. Okay, in other words, the date that their account expires based on the web hosting fee. Okay, so if your web hosting fee is expired, you must renew it in order to activate your access to the back end of this website where you can regulate the whole activity. So once I receive all 3 levels from the new inviter, I come in and click the smiley face under each receiving line, smiley, 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 okay? And then basically from there, everyone gets updated via email, and the system acknowledges that you've now moved, you've given your pledge, and you're now looking to get your one-up qualifier. Okay, so really, really quite easy. Very, very simple. Okay, and you obviously got access to the gifting forms here. You've got your profile, okay, which you can change, and you've got the tools on the back end, which you can access basically all of the resources of lead generation software, tracking software, and schedules, calls, calendars, you name it. Okay, we've also got a activity training page too that you can access and tap into, which I can obviously give you the password for, which is Freedom Today, once you sign on. Obviously share the link. You can only get to it via access when you sign on to the website. And this just otherwise has, really good information, talks, training that you can go into, training audios, and just, tapping into the psychology of unlocking abundance and just having the right attitude and mindset surrounding this program, and hearing from many testimonies of people who have come before and have earned, like I said, this woman, for instance, $50,000 in 1 week. Then you can see, once you set up multiple receiving lines, how all of a sudden, the floodgates can open, because you've got maybe like 10 people who have come in and pledged, and they're looking for their one-up qualifier. Then all of a sudden you get, out of those 10 people, maybe 7 have found their one-up qualifier within the first week. And then all of a sudden, 7 times $3,500 comes in, bang. I mean, you can see how the sky is really the limit. And it's off the back of your own efforts, right? And so this is what this website is dedicated towards, is, basically educating you guys on how to best tap into, being the change you wish to see, and deliver this program in a way which can capture not only the imagination, but the kind of desires of individuals wanting to join and be successful, when joining, because ultimately you want your people to be successful, right? Because they're going to be putting together, packages and information to then educate other people on, in order for them to, break away, so they can get people in to make money for you, as a qualifier. So that's the kind of incentive. So, your vested interest, you have a vested interest in those individuals who sign on, for them to do well and to tap into the resources to get up to speed, because then they can become an effective kind of marketing agent in order to help spread this activity to others that can then help, make you even more money, but then ultimately get them to break away so they can start making money, and putting themselves in your position, or, my position, your employer's position, basically. And so this kind of perpetual conveyor belt continues to go on and on and on. Okay, so you just got some, good alternative ideas here. Like I said, there really is no limit. If you, understand the basics of business and advertising, right, you can create your own website. If you've got your own website, like I've done here, to create a page, a landing page to capture. I've not even run any ads. I can run Facebook ads, YouTube ads. I can really get this out there by other means, in order to, get people to come and watch this presentation, get educated. And you can, even use other video presentations, which I share with you folks, video call, audio call presentations to help educate people. And then they can, get back to you. So you can have it automated. You can have it more kind of hands-on, as it were, just depending on your kind of personality type. But there really is like an infinite amount of ways in order to get this out there, to educate people to, want to come and join and jump on board. Okay, so that's that, guys. Pretty straightforward. Like I said, you got all the information now. Okay, so there's no excuse. It's just a matter of keep going over it. Okay, so you know exactly what's going on. And so you'll be able to explain it. And so you can make a well-informed decision too. And like I said, I'll leave the link below for you folks in order to join if you wish to join. You can reach out to me via email as well, which is alex@agmiddleditch.com. Okay, and or if you obviously sign on, you'll see there's another alternate personal email that I've obviously used linked to the activity that you can get in touch with. Okay, so either one of those two will work fine. Okay, but I'm going to otherwise leave you folks now with time to obviously go back over the presentation, learn more about this activity until it finally clicks for you, before reaching out and getting in touch with me. But I'm going to leave you with this presentation real briefly. That's really good. That helped basically probably better explain everything that I've explained, but in 7 minutes. Okay, nice and short and sweet. It's got some graphics there, so you can follow along. And otherwise, make a well-informed decision, like I said, afterwards, and get in touch, got all the information there. So thanks very much for watching, guys. I'm going to leave you now with this presentation, and otherwise hope that has been very educational for you folks, and hope you found that obviously, exciting, in regards to opening new doorways to potential wealth generation, okay, that can otherwise be very lucrative. All right, so yeah, I hope you found that very useful, and look forward to speaking to those folks who see the power of this program in the future via email and or Zoom or Skype. Just get in touch, and it'll be lovely to have you on board, and to otherwise, help maybe go over anything else that you need clarity of in order to get the ball rolling for you folks. Oh, and just quickly, forgot to mention, like I said before, you guys will be able to tap into the resources. Okay, and I've got plenty of resources here of pre-recorded videos, audio tapes, graphics, website, graphics you can use on your website if you want to create that, text that you can otherwise put in kind of adverts, and otherwise, PDF activity that helps explain the do's and don'ts. Otherwise, the website kind of goes over, okay, in order to reorient you guys, build up the confidence, so you know what you're doing, so you can kind of hit the ground running. All right, folks. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Look forward to, connecting sometime in the future. Hope you found this of value, and stay safe out there. And as always, stay sovereign and keep an open mind to all these things, and just tap into what would all this money bring you. Okay, what is it you desire? And start thinking about how you can see yourself with all this money once you're set up, and what you would like to do with it. So get motivated, get enthused. So this is a very powerful system, and I'd love to see you folks jump on board and become successful too. Okay, so that being said, much love. I'll leave you with this presentation. Peace out. All the best. Speak soon. Ciao for now.
and gentlemen, and welcome. If you found yourself here without first hearing one of our invitation-only information calls, don't miss out. Ask the person who sent you here for all the details. You'll want to make sure you get all the information we've prepared for you so that you can make an educated decision about your financial future. You're about to discover the elegant simplicity and astonishing power of our unique, time-tested, and proven system. Our wealth receiving plan is the fast track to creating real financial prosperity. You now have the opportunity to be involved in the most established giving and receiving activity of its kind in the world. We have easy options that make it possible for virtually everyone to get started quickly on the path to financial freedom. Here's the beauty of this simple system: immediate cash coupled with long-term cash, creating real prosperity for you and your family. So let's take a closer look at your wealth receiving plan. Remember, we have many systems already in place, along with live support, to help you find the right people who want to learn about this life-changing program. As we like to put it, it's like fishing in your own stocked pond. When you say yes to this powerful system, the first thing you will want to do is to get qualified. You will start by sending your once-in-a-lifetime pledge to your inviter. Remember, that's not once a year, it's one time for life. The second and final thing you will need to do is give your first joining member to your inviter. Everyone who participates in this wealth receiving plan gives one person up to their inviter. So we call this person your one-up qualifier. And congratulations, you are now qualified for life to receive 100% of all the cash from everyone that you invite. Not only that, you are also in line to receive 100% of the cash from each of their first joining members. Because remember, your new members are anxious to start receiving 100% of the cash, so they're highly motivated to find their first member and have them send their joining pledge to you. Now that you've qualified, you are immediately eligible to start your own receiving line, where you receive 100% of the cash. In a moment, we'll review how your chosen receiving options determine the amounts that you can receive. And remember, there is something here for you regardless of your current financial situation. But first, let's look at how this works. You plug into our systems and find your first person for your receiving line. Let's call him Alan. In this example, Alan joins online and sends his entire $3,500 pledge directly to you. Then Alan gets excited and wants to qualify to receive 100% and start his own receiving line. So Alan goes into his stocked pond and invites Bob to join. Bob is Alan's one-up qualifier, so Bob sends his full $3,500 pledge directly to you. And now Alan is qualified. Our software allows Alan to break away and start his own receiving line, where he gets 100%. But notice that Bob stays with you on your receiving line until he provides a one-up qualifier to you. Bob is motivated to start receiving cash, so he applies what he learns through our daily support and online tools and finds Cindy, who sends you her entire joining pledge of $3,500. Congratulations to all of you. Cindy has found the financial solution that she's been searching for. Bob has given you a new member to replace him on your receiving line, and because he did, he is now allowed to break away and start his own 100% receiving line. Cindy stays right there with you on your receiving line until she finds her first person, Dan, who sends you another $3,500. And that allows Cindy to break away and start receiving 100% of the cash from everyone she invites. So do you see what has happened here? By inviting just one person, Alan, you have already received $14,000 based on the efforts of other people. And remember, Dan is still there on your receiving line, and he's busy inviting people to learn about this so that they can send you their pledge, which means Dan will be qualified for life. Take note here that there are no limits. This process continues to infinity. And you wouldn't want to stop sharing this system with others, would you? After all, people everywhere are searching for a simple, proven way to generate substantial amounts of cash. They are waiting for you to invite them to learn about this. And when they join, that starts a brand new receiving line for you. Just like our example with Alan. You receive 100% and you can have as many receiving lines as you want, working for you 24/7. Oh, and did we mention there are no limits, no restrictions, no cutoffs for as long as you or your loved ones remain in the program. It's a true wealth-building legacy that can be passed down for generations. Now let's talk about how you can position yourself in the best way possible to receive maximum benefit. Your chosen receiving options will be the foundation of your wealth receiving strategy. Let me remind you that our system comprises varying receiving options to accommodate any budget. Your choice of receiving options determines the amounts which you can receive, and you may upgrade your receiving options at any time easily in order to take full advantage of what the system offers. Let's review how the different receiving options work towards your immediate and long-term financial goals. There are three possible receiving options: $500, $1,000, and $2,000 for a combined total of $3,500. Let's suppose for a moment that you participate in or activate just the $500 option. Now, Alan is the first person on your receiving line, and he sees the power of the program and wants to position himself to receive as much as possible. So he activates all three receiving options. How does he do it? He gets creative with his financial resources. Once he truly understands the possibilities that the system affords, nothing can hold Alan back from positioning himself to receive all three amounts. Now, because you are participating in the $500 option, you are able to receive at the $500 amount only, and the $1,000 and $2,000 amounts roll past you. Now watch closely. If you choose to activate the $500 and $1,000 options by sending a $1,500 pledge, you can now receive at both of these amounts. So you will capture 100% of all $500 and $1,000 pledges from your new joining members. And better yet, if you want to truly embrace the full potential of your wealth receiving plan, you will do whatever possible to activate all three receiving options. This assures that as you invite your new members to join, you capture 100% of all pledges from your directly invited members and their one-up qualifiers, and maximize your receiving potential. Members around the world are saying yes to this system every day because they understand that giving opens the door to receiving. They leverage their cash with a one-time pledge, expecting nothing in return from their inviter or this program. And they know that anything they receive will be from their own efforts as they share this powerful, life-changing system with others. Now it's your turn. Will you say yes? Go ahead. Pay it forward, and by simply sharing with others how they can do the same, you'll create your own legacy of immediate and lasting wealth. Get back to the person who invited you here and say, I want to prosper while helping others. I want to start living the life I envision. Tell your inviter, I'm in. And by the way, welcome home.